I know I don't look it, but I am old and I try to stay out of young people's business. Anyone under the age of 25, I try to stay out of their business, especially here online. But the shit I saw with Chicago Hottie and that other light-skinned shorty with the gray eyes, I gotta say something. Everybody wants to be beautiful until you start dealing with stupid shit like that. Stupid shit like, oh, well, I don't like how you walked into the room. Or with Chicago's friend Kiki, where she was walking sneaky a couple of months ago. What the fuck does walking sneaky and I don't like how you walked in there, what does that mean? I'll tell you, it means you upset some insecure bitches' demons. That's exactly what that means. It reminded me, it took me back to high school so vividly. So vividly. I remember I was a part of this organization called Top Teens of America, and kind of adjacent to Jack and Jill, if you will. And I remember I had gone to the informational meeting. One of my closest friends was a part of the organization already. Her parents had suggested that I join because, again, we were growing up in the white suburbs of Chicago, and it was a black, run organization. It would allow me to be around more kids that look like me, right? So boom, I go to the informational meeting with my parents. I'm super excited to be around other kids that look like me. I'm like 15, 16 years old at this point, mind you. I go to the meeting, I sit in the meeting with my parents, and they had, the little question and answers afterwards. They had food, little snacks or whatever where you could meet the other kids and their families and whatnot. So naturally, I'm hanging out with my best friend and her little friends that she had introduced me to. And I'm the new girl, right? I'm one of the new girls. I am fresh meat. So naturally, everybody is curious about, what I'm about because, again, I'm new. I leave to go home. And then I get a phone call in my car as I'm on the way home, and it's my best friend. So I answer the phone, and I hear her screaming in the background. I hear my best friend say hey, did you say anything to anybody while you were here? And I was like, girl, what are you talking about? I was with you the whole time. I'm like, no, I didn't talk to anybody but who you had me talking to. Why? And I'm like, and what's going on in the background? What is all that screaming? She proceeds to tell me that one of the girls at the informational meeting apparently didn't like how I came in the room, didn't like how I looked at her while I was there, and she was hooting and hollering, threatening to beat my ass. I'm confused as fuck, because like I said, I had come in the meeting, I had sat down next to my parents the entire meeting. After the meeting was over, I was hanging out with my friend, and the friend she had introduced me to, I didn't even remember the girl that she was talking about. I don't remember even being introduced to the girl that she was talking about, the one that was hooting and hollering in the background. Okay, so now fast forward to a couple of weeks later, where my friend invites me to her church picnic. Now, the church was where, again, that organization where Top Teens of America was run. Like the people who ran the organization, they attended the church. So again, some of these same people were also at the church picnic. So me and my friend are sitting by the basketball court. The pastor calls everybody over to the little, gazebo area or whatever to go ahead and pray over the food so everybody can eat. So we're walking over to the gazebo to go get food with everybody. And as we're walking by, I see a bunch of bodies in this car. I see hands and feet and heads through the sunroof and all the windows of the car. And I look over and ask my friend, I was like, well, whose car is that? Like, why are they all piled up in the car? She's like, girl, I don't even know. Let's just go eat. And I was like, okay, cool. So we keep pushing. We go grab our plates of food. We walk back to the basketball court. As we're walking back to the basketball court, this girl comes up to me. She stops me and she's like, hey. And I was like, hi. Like, I'm confused. I'm holding my plate of food. I'm like, hi. She's like, you're popped. Now, I did not know what the fuck that meant. I was in school with a bunch of white kids. I had never heard that before. So I'm looking at her like, huh? She's like, are you stupid? I said, I must be. You gonna have to enlighten me. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She starts getting up. She's like, enlightened? Like, who do you think you are? You think you're smart or something? You think you're smart or something? Like, you think you funny? Like, you're popped. You're ugly. You're busted. I'm looking around. Like, what is happening? I literally had never met this girl a day in my life. I hadn't spoken to anybody who was in that car. I'm like, I don't understand why you're yelling at me right now. She was like, you think you're all that because you got on. My parents had bought me some shoes from Nordstrom Rack. Okay, some Coach shoes from Nordstrom Rack. Anybody who knows my parents, no, my parents aren't spending more than $60 on a pair of shoes. They got 4 kids. They were apparently, I think they were under $50. I got a pair of Coach shoes. Like, you think you're so cute with your little Coach shoes and your little fake hair. Now, mind you, at the time, I didn't even know that you could sew fake hair into your head. My hair wasn't even super long at the time, but it was in a ponytail and it was hot and my ponytail was swinging. And she's like, your hair is fake. You know, you in these shoes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just looking, I'm like, my hair is not fake. I'm like, am my shoes? She just was going off. Just like Shorty at that party. Just like Shorty at that party. And this has happened to me a couple of other times since then. Since then. But I'm not going to use the more recent examples because I'm not trying to be messy. When you are beautiful, when you are smart, when you have your own motion, you simply existing is a threat to those who are insecure with how they look and where they're at in their lives. Let's talk about it. That girl was probably accustomed to being one of the most beautiful girls in the room. And when Chicago Hottie, when Layla came in, it upset her demons because she knew she had competition and she didn't like that. She didn't like that because what do you mean she walked in the room bougie? You mean she walked in the room confident and her confidence bothered you? The fuck? I had nothing but mad respect, okay, for Chicago Hottie. I did. She stood by herself and she addressed it. That one girl who was like, I don't feel like, why you got to do it in front of everybody? Sis didn't have a problem talking in front of all those cameras. Sis didn't have a problem running her mouth in front of all those cameras, in front of all those other people. All right? Let the confrontation be just as loud and direct as her disrespect. Shorty couldn't even say who said the disrespectful shit because she knew she was the one who said it. Because for me, baby, if I'm being accused of saying something that I didn't say, I'm going to start pointing fingers at who said what. Okay? And then to be like, you know what, I fuck bitches better than her. Who asked? No one asked. Or I got great eyes and you don't see me acting like I'm the bougiest bitch. Contacts? And even if your eyes were gray, colorism? In 2025? Ew, boo, tomato. One thing that I have learned in my 32 years of life is that when people hate you for no reason, know that you are doing everything you're supposed to be doing. I'm gonna say it again. When people are outwardly hateful towards you with no reason, it is because you are doing everything you are supposed to be doing. I just want to say big props to you, baby. Big props to you. You didn't let that girl play in your face. You handled it with class, with decorum. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. If I've learned anything in the last 32 years of my life, is that some shit is beneath me. Some shit, some people, some interactions are beneath me. And it is okay to say that. And in this particular situation, Buki, it was beneath you. It was beneath you. And I'm proud of you for the way that you handle it. As a fellow Chicagoland native, you did that. You did that.